We have just enough fuel for this. And by just enough... Oh. I mean, I've overthrusted. Don't kill us. And crash. Despite my flying, we managed to... by terrible flying, we have managed to set down on the moon. Oh, really? After all that. So we're going to go in the build here and just add one little thing that we forgot. One little thing. Okay, so here's the launch of this thing. Off camera, I added this little aerodynamic nose cone because I had to add a docking port. I tried this whole mission once already and recorded the whole thing, and got to the moon without a docking port. Yeah, that was awesome. I made it all the way with no docking port. So we're going to try this one again. And flying this thing is pretty unruly because this thing is so broad and sideways and ugly. Just making sure my various control surfaces are locked up the way that I want them to be. And we're ready to get this ship underway. So, full throttle. SAS is on. Here we go. Just using a little bit of gimbal here and there to help control this rocket. Now, let's get our gravity turn initiated. Drop off stages as I go. So each of these fuel tanks will empty one at a time after they have contributed their thrust. I'm going to go ahead and back off the throttle here. Okay, we'll go ahead and have our pilot fly us directly prograde now. That as far as a good stage is gone. Yeah, going too fast is what makes all the difference in how controllable your ship is. I want to retract this ladder. There it is. Okay, we're swimming. We can stop that swimming right now. Okay, this is looking pretty good. One, two. Now here, add the maneuver to circularize. Okay, rocket ship is climbing up and out. We've used more fuel than I would have liked to get this far. Now we'll enable the torque wheel here, the central torque wheel, so we have control of our rocket. Lock that gimbal and use the torque wheel instead. We have a 45-second burn. I'm going to go ahead and start it a bit early at 50% throttle because I think I'm going to run out of juice before this rocket is able to kick in. So right about now, we will go face our blue marker. Yeah, we're chewing through this fuel, just like I expected. It'd be best if we could get full orbit with this thing, and then just use this one for the moon transfer. But since this one has a lot of delta V built in, a lot more delta V than for its mission parameters, it shouldn't be an issue. This thing's still got some thrust left in it. That's good. Full power there. Got another minute and something to go on this particular burn. But we are high enough where I'm not worried about falling back into the atmosphere, really. Not in 40-something seconds. We can add some upward thrust, though. It's not the most efficient way to do this in the world. But if we can get this apoapsis in front of us, or real close to it, like so. Now full prograde. A little bit up. Here we go. Bingo. 71.8 by 74 is good enough for me. Let's see how we're doing as far as just going straight to the moon. Add maneuver. Perfect. $15-kilometer periapsis? Oh, we'll do that. In fact, I don't even need that maneuver. I'm just going to burn prograde at this point. Go straight to the moon. We'll worry about the ascending and descending nodes at another time. When we get there, right now, we're just burning straight that away. When this thing runs out of fuel, let's go ahead and turn on this torque wheel here. And we'll get down to this stage. While we're here, though, we can get our solar panels out. Hopefully we won't have to use up too much of this fuel because I want to use it for landing. Apoapsis is growing towards the moon. There we go. When we warp here, well, we'll warp there in a bit. Okay. We now have a science lab on the way to the moon. And its job is science. So, we're going to do some stuff. We are going to EVA. Get an EVA report. Keep that. Get on board. Review the data and load the science lab with it. So we're converting our reports and stuff into data. Get a crew report. Load that in the lab. And that data will become science over time. And the more science we have in here, the more science we generate over time. So observe a mystery goo. Load that in as well. Reset that. Log pressure data. Put that in the science lab. Heck, we can transmit that. Yeah, let's go ahead and transmit what we got on that one. Log the temperature and put that in the science lab as well. And reset that experiment. Now, we'll warp here, which is going to be high over Kerbin, and do the same thing all over again. So, warp to the descending node. Find our maneuver. We're thrusting orbit normal to fix our relative plane to be similar to that of the moon. And there we go. Now that we're out here, further away from Kerbin, we'll do the same thing again. EVA. Get the report, keep it. Review this data and throw it in the lab. Do we have any contracts? For space around the moon, surface of the moon. Okay. That was the EVA, now a crew report. Load that up. Mystery goo. Load that up. Temperature display. Load that up as well. We'll transmit that for what it's worth. And we can transmit that for what it's worth too. Sure, we'll restore functionality once we reach the moon. Put that on. Oops, dang it. And we can clean the mystery goo containment unit from here, so that's probably fine. Now we have 133 of 500 data loaded in this thing. Okay, that must mean we have all those already. Alright. We've got our plane change. We're all set for a Mooner encounter. So we're going to go ahead and warp there. And then get ourselves set up for orbital insertion and high over the moon science experiments. To get more data loaded into that science lab. So we're coming up on our warp point here. I hope you guys are enjoying this season finale. Not the season finale. The season 1 part 2 finale. That's the wrong one. I'm looking for orbit anti-radial, which is this guy over here. So I want to get my maneuver done first. We'll set a periapsis of 10 kilometers. Well, I guess we're getting a periapsis of 20 kilometers. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. It takes very little delta V to do it here, but it'll take a lot more to do it down there. So we'll get this down to 10 kilometers. or so. There we go. Still have most of our fuel available. Now that we're over the moon, again, we'll do that same batch of stuff. Get a crew report. Put it in the... not enough storage. What? Transmitting that back completes a contract. A crew report. Okay. Fine. A mystery goo. We will put that in the thing. Temperature display. Put that in the lab as well. And Presmat. 30 more data. So that'll give us 220 data. That doesn't count the IVA. Or EVA. EVA. EVA report. Keep that. Board. Review the EVA and throw it in the science lab as well. So we now have 240 science loaded in the science lab. So when this thing actually starts processing, it's going to be really awesome. Okay. I want a circular orbit. More or less. I also want to include a plane change, so we get a little bit more juice in this crater. Like that. Because this crater doesn't have a flag in it yet, which means we're going to land in there. Quick save. Get facing this maneuver. And warp there. Okay, so here we are about, about 10 seconds away from this burn. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, full throttle. Keep myself facing this maneuver node. Back off the throttle here for a little fine control. And that's it. How do we do? Let's go prograde just a smidge. Keep our periapsis above 10K, like so. All right. Okay, so that's it for that. We are now in orbit around the moon with our mobile science lab here. You know, this can go away. Goodbye. Don't need that weight anymore. Let's do the battery. Get a crew report. Reset that. Observe a mystery goo. Log pressure data. Reset that. Log temperature. Okay, I believe you, whatever. EVA. Just making sure that I have all this science done. Yep, we're good. Okay. All right. Now, right about here, we will get ourselves a braking maneuver for this canyon. Like that. Let's go ahead and warp to our next maneuver here. And at this point, we are getting ourselves set to come down for landing in this crater where we can do a bunch of research. Like, a bunch of research. So, in the dark. In the dark doesn't do us any good. Okay, I'm going to face directly retrograde even though my maneuver says, you know, face a particular direction. The most efficient way is always to face retrograde if you can. And I'll just face retrograde and do this manually. Get a little bit of thrust on. I just want to put my target marker right about there. Right here in this valley. How about this flat spot? Oops. Careful. In fact, I better quick save. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. We are now on our final trajectory to land on the moon. At 34 seconds away from the burn. Let's go ahead and get our gear down. We just have 3 minutes left until we hit the ground. Here's the lip of that crater, so we skirt over it. This might be a good shot. That looks like it could be a pretty good screenshot to use. 2 minutes. And 1 minute. Okay, we are coming up on our braking time here. So, facing directly retrograde. 6, 5, 34. Turn off the maneuver. We don't need it anymore. We either got it right or we got it wrong or we're going to crash. I'd like to sit down in there. That'd be nice. Just giving some control input to make sure my craft was sort of facing the right way. There we have it. We are now on final approach. We have about 98 seconds of fuel left. There's my shadow. Just hovering down to a nice soft landing on the moon. Just enough fuel for this. A little more. Let's slow down more. Thank you. Landing on a bit of a slope. Coming down at 2 meters per second. As soon as we have contact, we will cut the engines and be perfectly fine. Contact. That's that. Okay. that's it. We're out of fuel. We wouldn't want to do anything anyway. We're going to shut down these engines. We'll get our ladder extended so we can, walk up and down. We've got our solar panels out, collecting as much, they're going to collect as much sunlight as they're going to collect. I guess I could have landed sideways so they could track the sun. I wonder if I have enough to do that. So I'm just going to try and rotate the thing 90 degrees. About like that. There we go. Now the solar panels can track the sun. Shut down those engines again. Extend the ladder. And we have established our very first base on the moon. Bill, go there. Jeb, go there. Here is the couple of view of the moon. Can't see much. That's all right. All right, let's actually. Let's go ahead and get our science going here. We have a crew report from this place that we can transmit back. We'll go ahead and process it in the lab module first. We finished the construction of a new outpost for 191,000 funds. We're going to send some data back for a bunch more funds too. How are we doing on data in this thing? Oh, we have 430 data. We'll observe the mystery goo. Got another contract completed for 40,000 funds. Go ahead and transmit that. That's fine. Okay, this thing is officially loaded full of data. We're going to be generating 0.324 science per day. Go ahead and clean the experiments. And look at this thing starting its research. While that's going on, Jeb can come down. And kersplat on the ground. Plant a flag. Jeb's Science Emporium. There we go. That's the screenshot if there isn't, if there ever was one. Okay, Jeb, we need you to get an EVA report. Keep that. Grab a surface sample. Keep that. As the science lab burns through its data, we can refill it. Get on the stupid thing. Goodness gracious. Okay, there we go. Should have put a ladder right there, I guess. Yeah. Do we have the capacity for that? No, we don't. But we can transmit that back. Holy crap, 165? Yeah, this thing's going to be generating science every day for a while. So that's how we get a whole bunch of science going for our part 2 finale of season 1 part 2. I'm going to be taking 1 week off of Kerbal Space Program, and we'll be getting back into it in part 3 of season 1. This is our career mode let's play on normal, and we'll be heading out to other planets. So I might actually just make that a whole other season. I don't know. We'll figure that out when I start it in a week or so. So until then, keep flying and stay shiny. Goodbye!